So in today's video, I'm going to be exposing GloRilla and Gangsta because recently GloRilla openly admitted that she's a Freemason with this symbolism right here because they admit everything with signs and symbols, and as you guys can see, she's admitting what she's a part of by doing this one-eye symbolism with her right hand and then the vow of silence with her left hand. And both of these symbolisms are a part of Freemasonry, and Freemasonry is Satanism in disguise, but I'll talk about that more later on in this video. So first, let's take a look at this one-eye symbolism that she's doing because a lot of celebrities do this symbolism, and she's a new artist, so this is the first time that she's openly doing it, and so many people caught on to this and they called her out for it, and she actually responded. So before I show you guys her response, let's take a look at Gangsta because Gangsta does one-eye symbolism a lot. As you guys can see right here, she's obviously purposely putting her jacket in front of her right eye to do one-eye symbolism. And the reason I'm exposing Gangsta in this video as well is because GloRilla actually admitted that Gangsta is alive, because the demons that are playing the roles of these celebrities don't actually die. All they do is remove their character from the world stage, and then the demon, also known as Fallen Angel, creates another character to deceive more people on the world stage. So before I show you guys that video of GloRilla admitting that Gangsta is alive, let's take a look at some more one-eye symbolism pictures of Gangsta. And in case you guys don't know who she is, she faked her death on January 1st of 2023. So she was connected to the pagan New Year's ritual because every holiday that is celebrated is a pagan holiday where pagan deities are worshipped. And she was a part of that because she literally died on New Year's Day. So here's another picture where she's covering one eye with a shadow. And then right here, she's purposely covering one eye with her shades. And then this one is really disturbing because she's covering one eye while doing horns on the top of her head. And hopefully by now you can see that this one eye symbolism is not by coincidence, because there's so many celebrities that do this one eye symbolism. As you guys can see, here's hundreds of celebrities all doing the same one eye symbolism. So clearly this is not a coincidence that they all just happen to be covering one eye. You know, if there was only a few celebrities that did this, it wouldn't mean anything. But as you guys can see, every single celebrity has at least one picture covering one eye, and a lot of them are blatantly doing it. For example, all of these are doing the 666 hand sign along with the one eye symbolism. So that should let you know that when celebrities cover one eye, it's not a coincidence. And right here you can see a very young picture of GloRilla. And this whole picture doesn't make sense. You know, why does she have this weapon at a very young age? But on top of that, you can see that her hair is covering one eye. And this is not by coincidence because she's been a character since the day she was born. So she was never a real person. No matter how many stories they try to make about celebrities being real and coming up from the hood, have you guys noticed it's the same story over and over? These are infiltrators that are infiltrating in the hood and surrounding themselves around real people so that when they get famous, people can vouch for them and say that they're real because they met them before. But little did they know this was actually a demon infiltrating in their own city, and they were hanging around a literal demon, a fallen angel, and they didn't even know it. Because there's no celebrities that are real people. They're all involved in this. There's no way you can be a part of this without being a fallen angel. So as you guys can see, she's covering one eye once again. So this is clearly not a coincidence. So now when you look at this picture, you can clearly see that she was blatantly doing this to show us that she's a part of the same satanic cult that every other celebrity is a part of. And when they do this one-eye symbolism, it's a reference to the Antichrist, because Zechariah 11:17 says, "Woe to the worthless shepherd who deserts the flock. May the sword strike his arm and his right eye. May his arm be completely withered and his right eye totally blinded." So when the Antichrist comes and he rules the world, he's going to get attacked on his right eye, and his right eye is going to be blinded. So that's why all these celebrities love covering the right eye. As you guys can see, she's clearly covering her right eye, and it's not by coincidence. You know, she literally posted this on her own Instagram in front of all of her millions of fans, because they have to tell you in plain sight what they're a part of and who they are. And it's crazy because when they get called out for it, they deny it. But it's a contradiction because when you look at their pictures, they're admitting it with their symbolism. So they're admitting it and denying it at the same time to confuse people. But if you know what symbolism is, you can see past their lies. And she even went as far as putting it as her profile picture so that everyone can see this. So now let's talk about the other symbolism that she's doing, because not only is she covering her right eye, but she's also covering her mouth, which is called the vow of silence in Freemasonry. The vow of silence is when they're holding their finger to their mouth in the shush motion, which represents a reminder of the Masonic obligation of silence. And as you guys can see, here's 21 celebrities doing the same vow of silence symbolism. So clearly this is not a coincidence. And some of them are even doing one eye along with it. Like these three characters on the right are covering one eye while doing the vow of silence. And that's exactly what GloRilla is doing with this picture. So she's admitting she's a part of this cult in plain sight. And so many people are so blind. All she has to say is that she's showing off her rings, and her blind fans are going to believe it, even though that doesn't make any sense, because you can literally show your rings in a different way without doing symbolism. But anyways, when she responded to this, she said, "Baby, y'all need to worry about that P word y'all selling and not me. Damn, I can't show my rings off. Y'all gotta chill out with the delusional stuff." Then she said, "Selling Rotel plates but worried about me and my soul." So notice how when they respond, they get really defensive and angry at the people that are exposing them, because they know it's true. You know, if this wasn't true, why would she go out of her way to respond to this if it wasn't true? Because according to her, she was just trying to show off her rings. So if that was the case, why would she go out of her way to call people delusional and all these other insults if all she's doing is showing off her rings? But clearly it's something deeper than that, because not only did she do this symbolism, but she also got the all-seeing eye tatted on her leg along with the vow of silence. Check this out. So in that video, you can see that GloRilla got a lot of tattoos on her leg. And the first one they show is a person doing the vow of silence in plain sight. And then on top of that, she even got the all-seeing eye. And this is the same all-seeing eye that's in the back of your dollar bill. So why would a Memphis rapper get this tatted if she wasn't a part of the same Freemasonry cult, which is satanic? And I'm gonna prove it to you guys right here. Because the Freemasons have this Freemason star that is clearly an inverted pentagram, just like the Church of Satan. So Freemasonry and Church of Satan use the same symbolism. As you guys can see, the Order of the Eastern Star in Masonry is the same sigil of Baphomet in Church of Satan. So when they do this Freemasonry symbolism, it's not only Freemasonry. Freemasonry is just an organized version of Satanism and witchcraft. So don't let the Freemasonry thing throw you off and make you think that it's not demonic and satanic, because clearly it is. Even the Freemasonry logo with the compass and the G is the same symbol as the sigil of Lucifer on the right. So Freemasonry and witchcraft are the same thing. They do the same rituals, they both worship Satan, and they both have the same logos. And it couldn't be any more obvious. These are literally the same logos. So they use Freemasonry as a disguise so that people won't think that they're satanic. The average person will just think they're Freemasons, but all of that is just a disguise for their Satanism. And as you guys can see right here, she's doing some more satanic symbolism, because she posted this picture of her wearing this black and white dress that has lightning bolts going down. And the lightning bolt symbol is a direct symbolization of Satan, because Luke 10:18 says, "And he said to them, I saw Satan fall like lightning from heaven." So whenever you see them doing the lightning bolt symbolism, they're directly referencing Satan. And on top of that, this is a black and white dress. And Freemasons have a black and white checkerboard floor in their lodges. And all of this is symbolic to turning good into evil, turning darkness into light, because Isaiah 5:20 says, "Woe to those who call evil good and good evil, who put darkness for light and light for darkness, who put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter." So this is basically saying that people who turn evil into good are going to be in big trouble on Judgment Day. And clearly that's exactly what their agenda is. They love mixing the good with the evil. So that's why they wear this black and white symbolism. Now let's get into her other characters. As you guys know, I made a couple videos already exposing her for being based off of Bow Wow. As you guys can see, she looks identical to Bow Wow right here. And she also looks like Lil Mama because she's another one of their characters as well. As you guys can see, they look exactly alike right here. And I made 2 videos about this, so if you guys are interested in that, I'll put a link to these videos in the description below. And GloRilla even mentioned Bow Wow in a tweet after I exposed her, so go check out that video as well, because that was clearly a response to my original video. And I will be making a separate video about GloRilla and her base character because I actually found one of her very old characters from 1936. So stay tuned for that video, because in this video I'm not really going to be focusing on her other characters. I mainly want to just focus on the symbolism that she's doing, because she has so many fans that are blindly following her, but they don't even realize how satanic and demonic she is. And she's inverted, as you guys can see. She literally looks like a man mixed with a female, and I talked about that in my recent video. I showed you guys how all celebrities are inverted. They're a mixture of male and female. And she even mentioned in a couple tweets that she wants to be a caveman. And I found it interesting that this mainstream rap page made this post, and it says, "Who would you crown the king of Memphis?" And it has 5 Memphis male rappers, and then it has GloRilla, who's supposed to be a female rapper. So the owner of this page is obviously letting us know that GloRilla is a man, because a king is a male thing. So I just thought it was funny that they added her into this list, even though she's supposed to be a female. And if you look at this picture right here, you can see that she has the G in the background, and she's also doing horns right here in plain sight. And this G in the background is symbolic to the masonry G that they have in their logo. And here's a weird agenda that she pushed a couple weeks ago. So she was trending on social media after old pregnancy pictures surfaced, and here's the pictures. And she responded and she said, "Why am I trending?" And then she said, "You guys are slow. I was just playing on that picture. Nobody knew when I was actually pregnant till it was gone." So for one, this shows that they faked their pregnancies, because that means she was literally deceiving with this picture and she wasn't actually pregnant. And she's also pushing this agenda for women to kill their babies, because the doctors try to say that this is not murder, but at the end of the day it is, because you're still killing life that was supposed to be born, and there's still a baby inside of your body that God has created. So they're making women kill their own babies, and they're treating it like it's not a big deal. You know, she said she threw a release party after she left the clinic. So this is a really terrible agenda. You know, if you're pregnant, you might as well have the baby, because you already made the decision to create it in the first place. So you have to live with that decision, unless you want to commit murder. And this is a very touchy subject, because some people think it's not murder, but it really is, because if that baby was born and you killed it, you would think there's something wrong with that. But for some reason, if the baby's still in the stomach and they kill it, people don't find an issue with that. So their logic doesn't make any sense. This is murder at the end of the day. But that's a whole nother topic for another video. I can't really go into detail on that on here. You know, I would have to make a separate video on Patreon for that, because that's a very sensitive topic on YouTube. But anyways, let's talk about this scripted ritual that GloRilla did at her recent concert. So 3 women died from injuries suffered in GloRilla concert Stampede. And first thing we have to mention is the fact that Stampede equals 83, just like murder. So it makes sense that they would script this event with a stampede and have 3 people get murdered, because both of those words match up. And this whole event happened on March 5th. And she responded to everything and she said, "I'm just now hearing about what happened, praying everybody is okay." And you ever notice that celebrities only promote praying after something bad happens, but you never see them praying or telling people to pray when things are going good? But anyways, as you guys can see, this is all scripted, because she even made this tweet at 11:11 p.m. So this whole event happened on March 5th, and March 5th is 3/5, like 35. And one of the women that died, who is a crisis actor, by the way, every time these events happen, the people that supposedly die are all involved in it, and they're all crisis actors. Because as you guys can see, one of the women that died is called Aisha Stephens, and she died at 35. And this event happened on 3/5, like 35. So she was 35 years old. And then the other woman that died was called Brandy Miller, and she was also 35. And her name Brandy equals 35. And GloRilla's real name is Gloria, and Gloria equals 35. Her full name is Gloria Hallelujah Woods. And Finesse 2 Tymes was a rapper that was also there performing during this concert, and his name Finesse 2 Tymes equals 53, which is 35 in reverse, and this whole event happened on March 5th, which is 35. So all of this was scripted with the number 35 and 53. Now let's talk about Aisha Steffens, because her name Aisha literally has the same gematria as death. They both equal 38, 20, and 97 in the same ciphers. And the third crisis actor that died is called Rondasia Belton, and she was 33 when she faked her death at this concert, and passed away equals 33. And of course Masonry equals 33 as well. And this happened at Rochester, New York, and New York equals 33. And Rochester has the same gematria as Rondasia, which is the name of this crisis actor. They both equal 48 and 51 in the same ciphers. And then Rondasia and Homicide both equal 48 and 150. So her name, Rochester, which is where this happened, and Homicide all equal 48. So clearly this character was scripted to fake her death at this event. And they say that her nickname was Deja, and her nickname Deja has the same gematria as death in 3 ciphers. They both equal 38, 20, and 97. And this should look familiar to you because the other crisis actor that I just exposed, Aisha, literally has the same exact numbers as death and as Deja. So it couldn't be any more obvious that these two characters were scripted to die at this event. Now let's get into GloRilla's age and the connection with that, because this staged event happened while GloRilla is 23. And GloRilla's last name is Woods, which equals 23. And Rondasia Belton, which is one of the crisis actors, her last name equals 23 as well. And then Rondasia and GloRilla's full name both equal 93. And then her full name, Rondasia Belton, matches up with Finesse 2 Tymes, who was the other rapper at this event. They both equal 161. So do you really think that's a coincidence that this crisis actor that died just so happens to have the same gematria as the 2 rappers that were performing there? And keep in mind, she was 33 years old, and Finesse 2 Tymes' real name is Ricky Hampton, and Ricky equals 33, and Hampton equals 33. And both of these rappers are from Memphis, Tennessee. As you guys can see, GloRilla and Finesse 2 Tymes are both from Memphis. And Memphis equals 38 and 34, just like Deja. And it's ironic that his name is Finesse, because finesse literally means deceive somebody. So this whole thing was deception. And if you notice, this character really looks inverted. You know, he looks like a woman, and a lot of people can agree with that. And there's many people on social media that have made jokes about it. And right here, he's literally wearing a pink sweater with pink boots. It's crazy how they're letting us know that these characters are inverted, and the male rappers are pushing a very feminine way of dressing, and the female rappers like GloRilla are pushing a masculine agenda to their female fans, because GloRilla literally sounds like a man. In case you guys forgot, here's the video where GloRilla literally sounds like a man.
Sorry. What? We have a technical difficulty. I be like this, y'all. What? I be like this, y'all.
So here's a video of Finesse 2 Tymes talking about this entire event, and notice how he literally calls himself a character from 2K, because on NBA 2K you can create a My Player character, and in this video he literally admits he's a character.
Player, I'm a creative player.
Now let's take a look at some more demonic symbolism. As you guys can see, GloRilla is clearly doing the devil horns, and right here Gangsta Boo is doing the devil horns, and notice how she's putting it on top of her head, basically letting us know that this symbolizes the Baphomet's horns that he has on top of his head, because the Baphomet represents Satan and they worship this idol. So that's why they love using pentagrams and horns and doing this symbolism right here, because the Baphomet has all those symbols. And here's some more pictures of Gangsta Boo clearly doing this demonic devil horn symbol. And sometimes they try to hide it, but you can still see that she's doing it right there. And here she is doing it again. Now let's get into her other characters, because as you guys can see, Gangsta Boo looks identical to Mase. Here's a few side-by-side comparisons. And Divine Sade made a really good video about this, by the way. I'll put a link to that video in the description. And they even have the same gematria, Mase equals 38 and Gangsta Boo equals 38 as well. And her real name is Lola C. Mitchell. And Mitchell sounds like a male name. Lola C. Mitchell has the same gematria as Mase's first name, which is Mason. They both equal 73. And of course his name is Mason because he's a Mason. So they're telling us in plain sight right there. And the character that all of these characters are based off of is Bernie Mac. And as you guys can see, Bernie equals 53, just like Lola C. Mitchell. And here's a side-by-side comparison of Bernie Mac and Gangsta Boo, because these two characters look so much alike. And if you guys watched my recent Bernie Mac video, I talked about how Lil Yachty and Mase are both based off of Bernie Mac. And this one is really obvious because they all look alike, especially Mase and Lil Yachty. These two look identical, especially in these comparisons right here. But yeah, all of these characters are based off of Bernie Mac. So if you guys are interested in that video, I'll put a link in the description below. And Lil Yachty actually admitted that he's Bernie Mac with this title right here because he said, "I'm the Mac." And he also admitted that he's Mase as well because he has a song with Carnage called Mase in 97. And the picture of this song is literally Mase with Diddy in the background. So all four of these characters are the same. And the crazy thing about this is they're all connected because Gangsta Boo's birthday is August 7th. And Bernie Mac died on August 9th. So his death date is 2 days after Gangsta Boo's birthday. And then Lil Yachty's birthday is August 23rd. And then Mase's birthday is August 27th. So Mase, Lil Yachty, and Gangsta Boo were all born in August. And Bernie Mac died in August. So all of these characters are connected to August. And it's not a coincidence because they're all the same. And then Bernie Mac and Lil Yachty both equal 43 in the same cipher. And Gangsta Boo died at age 43. So that's a deep connection right there. Now another interesting connection is that Gangsta Boo was born in 1979 and Lil Yachty was born in 1997. And 97 is just a reverse of 79. And she even made a tweet in 2016 and she said, "I F with Lil Yachty." So she's letting us know in plain sight that Yachty is one of her characters. And Lil Yachty has so many references to him being a woman. He literally has this music video called Oprah's Bank Account where he dressed up as Oprah. And he's wearing a wig and a pink sweater. And as you guys can see, he looks a lot like Gangsta Boo right here. This one is really obvious because he literally dressed up as a woman and he has a female character. And he interviewed Drake in this music video, which is another connection because when Gangsta Boo died, Drake posted a picture of her and he said, "Rest in heaven, Gangsta Boo." So here's some more pictures of Lil Yachty dressed up as a woman. And it's so ironic because Gangsta Boo looks like a male dressed up as a woman. And Lil Yachty literally did that. And he made these magazine covers. And notice how he mentioned the word boo right here on this magazine cover. So that's clearly a reference to Gangsta Boo. And here's some more pictures of him dressed up as a woman. And this one is really disturbing because it says the power of God's plan. And when they say the word God, they're making a reference to their God, which is Satan. And here he is again dressed up as a woman. And he even responded to people calling him out for this because somebody said, "In my opinion, you don't need to wear no dresses or wigs to sell." And Lil Yachty responded in a very disrespectful way. And he said, B word is just supposed to be entertaining. It's not even that deep. Y'all so in denial with y'all masculinity that stuff like this bother you. Relax. So notice how they always get angry and defensive when somebody calls them out. And it's because they're obviously doing something wrong. And how is this supposed to be entertaining? How is a man dressed up as a woman supposed to be entertaining? Because this is not entertaining at all. This looks very disgusting. His whole agenda is to blur the gender line because he even has his own all-gender nail polish line. And notice how he launched it for all genders. So he's trying to mix males and females to wear the same nail polish. And that's what they love to do. One of their biggest agendas is to blur the gender line and to make males wear female clothing and females wear male clothing. And that's what he's doing right here. And a big connection is the fact that Gangsta Boo sold her own nail polish as well. And she named the color Bright Devilish Cherry Red Cream Nail Polish. And I found that very disturbing because she added the word devilish in there. So the fact that Gangsta Boo sold her own nail polish, just like Lil Yachty, is a clear connection that these two are the same. And now let's get into the gematria of Gangsta Boo's fake death, because all of this was fake. You know, like I said, celebrities don't actually die. The demon is still alive, playing other celebrities. So here's a video of GloRilla admitting that Gangsta Boo is still alive at her funeral.
You know what I'm saying? She's still alive. You know what I'm saying? Big Memphis, we gonna keep representing her. For sure. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? She's still alive. You know what I'm saying?
So don't you guys find it weird that the first thing GloRilla says at Gangsta Boo's funeral is that she's alive? She's blatantly admitting it in plain sight, and it's true because her entire death was scripted. As you guys can see, she died at age 43, and Death Faker equals 43. Killing equals 43, and then Gangsta Boo and Killing both equal 38 in the same cipher. And then Boo and Dead both equal 14, and 49 and 94. And she was born in 1979, and Death Faker equals 79. So her whole character was scripted to be a Death Faker. And right here she's in front of a brick wall, which is masonry symbolism. And notice how she's also wearing pink, white, and blue in this outfit right here, which is a clear reference to the inverted flag that is also pink, white, and blue. And then right here she's wearing pink, white, and blue again, and she's in front of this pyramid that's in Memphis. Because in case you guys didn't know, there's actually a pyramid in Memphis, and the reason for this is because Memphis is actually an ancient city in Egypt where they have these 3 pyramids. So I don't think it's a coincidence that they named this city in Tennessee after an ancient Egyptian city called Memphis, and then they build a pyramid in this city. And the reason for that is because the demons that are running the world stage right now are the same demons that were running ancient Egypt back in the day. And of course right here Gangsta Boo is doing the vow of silence. And then right here she's doing a L. And a lot of celebrities do this same L symbolism. And when they do this L, they're referencing their god, which is Lucifer. And even though Lucifer is not his real name, you know, I talked about that in my Damar Hamlin video. I'll put a link in the description for that. I really went into detail about the devil and his real name, because he likes to call himself Lucifer because that's a positive name, but that's not actually his real name. You know, he likes to call himself Lucifer because, like this Bible verse says, Satan likes to disguise himself as an angel of light, and Lucifer means the light bringer. So that's why he made that name for himself, because he's a false angel of light. He's actually an angel of darkness, but he likes to disguise himself as an angel of light. So that's why when he comes as the Antichrist, he's not going to look like the devil. He's going to look like a positive person trying to bring change and peace to the world, and people are going to fall for it. Anyways, right here she's doing 2 L's, which looks like horns as well. And here we got her other character, Mase, and he's doing some blasphemy as well by covering one eye with the Bible. And again, they always tell us that the truth is in the Bible. That's why he's holding it up right here. And he even became a pastor. A lot of them love to infiltrate and act like they're Christians, but in reality, these are demons disguising themselves as light, because they're all fallen angels, and that's why they put these wings behind her, letting us know once again that she's a fallen angel. Now let's talk about this pyramid symbolism that they love to do. This is a very disgusting symbolism, and it's time that I really explain it for what it is, because in Masonry, they do this symbolism because they believe that the private parts are the most sacred part of our body, and whenever they do this symbolism, they're making a reference to that body part, and when they're pointing it down, it's the female private area that they're referencing, and when they point it up, it's the male private area that they're referencing. So right here she's showing us what this symbol means by doing it right at her private area, and she's pointing it down. So that's what that means. It's very disgusting when they do that, because they're very nasty demonic beings that love sin, and that's why they idolize these private areas so much and they glorify it. You know, most of her music is about that, just like every other rapper, and that's why they love promoting this stuff to us when we're children, because that's the easiest way to get children to know about sin. Lust is the #1 way to get an innocent person to fall and to learn about sin. And right here she's covering her private area, and if you notice in Freemasonry, They wear this weird apron that covers their private area because, like I said, they believe this is the most sacred part of the body and they worship this. You know, it's very disgusting what they do. Even George Washington was a Freemason and he's wearing the same apron over his private area. And right here, she's doing the 666 hand sign because she's very associated with 3-6 Mafia. And 3-6 Mafia is literally 3 sixes in their name. You know, it's literally in their name. They're telling you in plain sight that their name is 666 Mafia. And right here, DJ Paul is doing the devil horns with the one-eye symbolism. And this is a very demonic group. I do not recommend listening to any of their music because it promotes so much sin. And they do so much demonic symbolism on their album covers. As you guys can see, all 4 of them are doing one-eye symbolism right here. And then right here, DJ Paul is doing one-eye symbolism as well. And then they have this album called The End because they know that the end is near. And then they have this album called The Mafia 6. And then it says 6 Commandments. And right here, DJ Paul is wearing a hat that says 666. And Revelation 13:18 says that the number of the beast is 666. So that's why they idolize that number so much. And 3-6 Mafia equals 56 in the same cipher as Church of Satan. So that should let you know how satanic this rap group is. They even have an album called World Domination because they plan to dominate the world when the Antichrist comes. And Gangsta Boo has this album called Candy, Diamonds, and Pills. And notice how the candy, which symbolizes drugs, is covering one eye and then the diamond is covering the other eye. And she did this to symbolize that their agenda is to blind people with material things such as drugs and diamonds and jewelry. So it's a very disturbing album cover. Then she has this Duality album cover that says Both Worlds and star 69. And 69 symbolizes duality just like this symbol. And when they use this duality symbol, they're telling you that they're mixing the good with the evil. Just like the black and white symbolism, it's the same thing. That's why they love to use that symbolism. Then she has this album with LeChat called Witch. So they're letting you know how demonic they are in plain sight. And they're even making a potion in this pot right here. Then she has this very demonic picture where she's wearing this 666 hoodie with an inverted pentagram. And that's the same shirt that DJ Paul is wearing on this album cover right here. It's a very demonic shirt. And here's this character that's also in 3-6 Mafia called Infamous. And he's wearing the same shirt. So all of them love to wear that same shirt. And I believe they even sell it as well. So it's crazy how they make their fans wear this stuff too. Because they promote witchcraft so much. All of these symbols are used for witchcraft. And that's why they sell merch with this symbol on it. And once again, this is the same symbol that is used in Freemasonry and the Church of Satan. So they're both the same thing. And he calls himself Lord Infamous, which is very blasphemous. So I'm just going to call him Infamous. And as you guys can see, he's doing one-eye symbolism. And he even has an album called Voodoo. And voodoo is a form of witchcraft. And as you guys can see, the skull's in the background. And they promote smoking weed a lot. So that should tell you that it's a form of witchcraft as well. And there's a lot of people that don't want to believe that. But really ask yourself this question. Why does this satanic rap group that is full of witchcraft promote smoking weed more than anything else? So that should really tell you something, that there's something satanic behind that. Because when you smoke weed, you open yourself up to demons. You'll become vulnerable to the spirit realm. And if you're listening to their music while smoking weed, you're definitely going to be vulnerable to possession by these demons. Because all of their music is inviting demons into your life. So don't listen to any of these celebrities' music because it's all demonic. They even have this album called Halloween, but they spelled it Halloween. And this is the most disturbing one of them all. DJ Paul and Infamous literally have an album called Come With Me to Hell. So that should show you their main agenda is to get their fans to go with them to hell. And they're showing you in plain sight. Then he has this album cover with a Baphomet's head in plain sight. And then he has this other one called Broken Halo. And a halo is usually used to reference an angel, but he's referencing a broken halo, which is basically a reference to a fallen angel because his halo is broken. So they always tell us that they're fallen angels. And right here, he got the lightning symbolism in the background, which again is a reference to Luke 10:18, where he said to them, I saw Satan fall like lightning from heaven. And then Gangsta Boo has a song called Meet the Devil. So clearly this entire rap group is so demonic, and I would avoid listening to any of their music. And last but not least, I had to show this in the video because Gangsta Boo promoted the shot with this tweet, and she said only people with the shot in their blood should be saved at the hospital. So that should show you that there's something demonic with those shots as well, because why would this demonic character promote it so much? But yeah, that's pretty much it for the video. You know, this was basically a video on GloRilla and Gangsta Boo and the 3-6 Mafia, because that entire rap group is demonic. I'm going to show you guys a video where they admit that their music is to hypnotize the minds. So thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to drop a like, share, subscribe, turn on post notifications, subscribe to my Patreon. The link is in the description below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'm out.
You very seldom hear slow tracks. You'll hear some slow tracks, you know what I'm saying, with like some pimping to it or something that you can relax, pop a top to or something. Yeah. But you know what I'm saying? But most of it's gonna be full of strength and, you know what I'm saying, power in it. Real powerful. Man.
Got some butt to it.
Mind control, you know what I'm saying? That's why we call it hypnotized mind.
All right, don't go nowhere, world. We'll be right back with more Rap City with the entire Hypnotized Camp posse, all right?